The state of Kuwait and the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland continue to enjoy historic and strategic relations that go back to centuries ago, even before the two countries signed the Declaration of Independence in 1961. The historic ties go back to the 18th century when Sheikh Mubarak al-Sabah, the Great, agreed that Kuwait would become a British protectorate. Since then, the two countries' royal families shared historical years of close relations and mutual trust, as ties between the two countries were deep-rooted and special, particularly in politics and commerce. The two countries' political and commercial relations have expanded significantly in recent years as a result of their mutual trust, which is due to their long years of joint action and understanding of joint interests. The Kuwait-UK Joint Steering Group is a clear evidence of solidarity of the British-Kuwaiti ties, which reflect the solid partnership that bonds the two nations. The group has been so significant in boosting, enhancing, and strengthening bilateral relations between both countries in various sectors, including energy, education, health, security, and aviation. His Highness the Emir, Sheikh Mish'al al-Ahmed al-Jaber al-Sabah, may Allah bless and protect him, as well as the former rulers of the state of Kuwait, have always been keen on bolstering the British-Kuwaiti ties on all levels. Stressing the importance of enhancing bilateral relations, His Highness the Emir affirmed that Kuwait was proud to have historical relations with Great Britain, stressing that both nations were eager to bolster ties on all levels. The story began with the Anglo-Kuwaiti Agreement of 1899, or even before, marking the deeply rooted and illustrious relationship between the United Kingdom and the state of Kuwait. In accordance with the agreement, the state of Kuwait was set under the protection of the United Kingdom against external threats, and the government of Kuwait would have to consult with the British government in matters pertaining to relinquishing any parts of the country's lands. The alliance with Britain allowed Sheikh Mubarak the Great to lay down the foundations of a modern state, while under his reign, government welfare programs provided for public schools and medical services.
I think the first point that I should draw out is 1899 with the Anglo-Kuwaiti Agreement, which we often refer to as the Friendship Agreement. So this was about security and protection provided by the United Kingdom to the state of Kuwait. But then there are other milestones that are more to do with, for example, the economic heartbeat of Kuwait through the discovery of oil in 1938. That was with the help of some British petroleum companies who did a lot of exploration work. And then we have 1952, which was the start of modern-day Kuwait in terms of the layout of Kuwait city. So there were 3 British planners who helped to design the new city of Kuwait, looking at moving the buildings and population beyond the old city walls.
Throughout the 19th century, the As-Sabah ruling family oversaw the growing trade and pearling settlement in the state of Kuwait. Aware of their vulnerable position, Kuwait's rulers quickly developed considerable diplomatic skills, maintaining a policy of neutrality that enabled them to work with the British, among other neighboring states. On the 19th of June, 1961, Kuwait became an independent state, dissolving the obsolete agreement with Britain by mutual consent. Britain continued to support Kuwaiti sovereignty, and this was evident in 1961 when the then Iraqi President Abdul Karim Qasim threatened to annex Kuwait as soon as it announced independence. However, Britain stood in the face of Iraqi greed. the United Kingdom remained steadfast in supporting Kuwait's freedom, and it was clearly revealed in 1990 when Britain denounced the Iraqi invasion of Kuwait and took part in operations to restore Kuwait's legitimacy and sovereignty to its rightful owners in 1991.
The UK was able to step in and provide some security and protection and reassurance to Kuwait when its sovereignty was challenged back in 1961. 1990, 1991, I think because of the recent timing, a lot of people's thoughts and memories have been focused on the Iraq invasion and then on the subsequent liberation of Kuwait, which of course the UK, amongst other allied forces, played an important role in.
Regarding commercial exchanges, the historical records pointed out those commercial and business transactions dated back over 200 years. In February of 1992, Kuwait and Britain had signed an agreement after the liberation from the 1990 invasion, in which the UK would supply the state of Kuwait with weapons, as well as conducting military exercises. British merchants and businessmen opened offices in the state of Kuwait as early as 1793. And in 1821, the East India Company moved its headquarters from Basra to Kuwait, while the British oil companies also contributed heavily to the discovery of oil in the state of Kuwait. Trade to the fore today, the United Kingdom is one of Kuwait's most important trade partners, ranked 10th among the exporting countries to Kuwait, and 17th among countries importing from Kuwait, excluding oil. Meanwhile, Kuwait is the 4th largest commercial partner in the Gulf to the UK, thanks to the Kuwaiti Investment Office in London that was established in 1953 to manage significant investments in Britain.
1953, the establishment of the Kuwait Sovereign Wealth Fund, another economic milestone, which was then known as the Kuwait Investment Board, that was established in London with help from secondees from the Bank of England. 1961, of course, hugely important in both of our histories. This changed the dynamic of the relationship, where Kuwait became an independent sovereign state.
British companies are currently working on projects such as the Kuwait International Airport building, while British Telecom is helping in the development of the telecommunications sector. Furthermore, both governments have established a new Kuwait-UK Trade and Investment Task Force that will play a key role in helping to achieve the new trade targets. Trade relations between Britain and the state of Kuwait are today worth millions of pounds and provide employment for thousands of people in both countries. Kuwait and Britain are keen to further improve trade ties, and the current government has made the Gulf region a priority investment and trade area, sending several senior ministers to Kuwait over the last years.
So trade has always played a very important role in our relationship. Going back almost 250 years, this was the start of the Kuwaiti and British relationship with our trade, our shared trade with India, and also setting up the movement of post, of mail, by the United Kingdom fleet on behalf of Kuwait. So it goes back centuries. In terms of where we are now, I was delighted to see that our current bilateral trade is worth $6 billion, which is a 17% increase on last year. So it's growing steadily each year, which is very good. The UK enjoys a huge amount of investment from Kuwait, both from the Sovereign Wealth Fund, but also from different private sector investors too, which again is hugely welcome.
The extraordinary ties continue to grow for another century and a quarter and beyond, through the shuttling visits of representatives of the Kuwaiti leadership and the British government. Both countries launched various activities and exchanging high-level visits throughout 2024, with the aim of strengthening both the official and the people-to-people relations. setting another milestone to the long and historic relations between the nations. His Highness Sheikh Mish'al al-Ahmed al-Jaber al-Sabah represented His Highness the late Emir Sheikh Nawaf al-Ahmed al-Jaber al-Sabah back in September 2022 to offer condolences over the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Meanwhile, in 2023, His Highness the Crown Prince also visited the UK in his capacity as the late Emir's representative to partake in the coronation of His Majesty King Charles III.
The role played by Kuwaiti leadership is really fundamental to the bilateral relationship and the strong links that we enjoy today. So the royal family and the ruling family seem to have a very close, quite personal friendship. We've seen 8 visits by King Charles to the state of Kuwait already. We hope to see many more in the future. His Highness the Emir, Sheikh Mish'al al-Ahmed al-Jaber al-Sabah, graced us with his presence 4 times over the last 2 years. He met King Charles III on 3 of those occasions, and then he had a more investment-focused, trade-focused visit where he met our then Prime Minister. So I think those relationships are very strong.
This year, we mark the 125th anniversary of official diplomatic relations between the State of Kuwait and the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Decades of partnership were witnessed since the 2 countries signed the Anglo-Kuwaiti Agreement of 1899, launching official diplomatic relations between the State of Kuwait and the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Believing in the importance of celebrating this landmark, the respective governments of both countries have jointly agreed to declare 2024 the year of the Kuwaiti-British partnership, as per the agreement signed on the 29th of August 2023. In the margins of the visit to the United Kingdom of His Highness the Emir of the State of Kuwait, Sheikh Mish'al al-Ahmed al-Jaber al-Sabah, who was at that time the Crown Prince. The close and deep-rooted relationship between the 2 countries has grown steadily over the past century and a quarter, with both sides supporting each other to tackle regional and global challenges and to defend and promote our common values. The year of the Kuwaiti-British partnership is an opportunity to reflect on the achievements of the past 125 years, such as the historic investment relationship underpinned by the Kuwait Investment Office's 70-year presence in the City of London, and our collaboration to defend the State of Kuwait's sovereignty and territorial integrity during the First Gulf War. Both governments also seek to enhance current and future cooperation through high-level visits, events, and initiatives, such as cultural exchanges and education programs. The partners are committed to continuing to broaden and deepen our friendship and ensuring the special ties between the 2 peoples continue to grow for another 125 years. Key areas of focus for cooperation will include trade and investment, defense, cybersecurity, education, culture, and international development. That includes the rollout of the Electronic Travel Authorization Scheme to Kuwaiti nationals that aims to strengthen further the people-to-people ties by making it easier than ever before to travel to the UK.
About the start of this year, in February, we had the launch of the Electronic Travel Authorization, which I hope has made travel from Kuwait to the UK much easier and much more flexible than it was before for Kuwaiti nationals. So we have so many different important milestones around economics, security, defence, but also people-to-people links and footfall as well.
As the State of Kuwait and the United Kingdom renew their commitment to further strengthen their cooperation for the benefit of their friendly peoples and the wider world, the foreign ministers of both countries take the responsibility of enhancing the strategic dialogue, while supporting bilateral cooperation and collaboration on key foreign policy issues, which underpin the mutual security and prosperity, as well as on the shared challenges and opportunities that are emerging in our ever-changing world. The State of Kuwait and the United Kingdom are looking forward to building on existing cooperation in the field of cybersecurity and defense, including the United Kingdom's work to help establish the National Cybersecurity Center in the State of Kuwait, and to reinforcing long-standing ties between our two countries.
We enjoy very good working relationships throughout the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and lots of other Kuwaiti ministries. So we have British ministers who are talking to Kuwaiti ministers all the time. So those linkages between the government and royal and ruling families are really, really helpful and very, very strong.
Aside from strong trade links, the UK works closely with the State of Kuwait on a range of geostrategic matters. With around 6,000 British nationals living and working in the State of Kuwait, generations of Kuwaitis have been educated and trained in Britain, while large numbers of Kuwaitis visit Britain each year to spend their holidays, do business, or to receive medical treatment. On this regard, Kuwait's vision comes in line with the UK's development objectives of promoting sustainable development, an open global economy, and improving welfare. 125 years of partnership and the roots of mutual interests continue to extend between the State of Kuwait and the United Kingdom, hoping for more years of prosperity while exploring new horizons of cooperation and accomplishments that will further solidify the bilateral ties and achieve a wide range of shared goals and priorities under the wise Kuwaiti and British leaderships.